All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've seen my other videos, but I did my inner outer tie rod, sway bar end links, and lower ball joints recently. And in the process of doing those, I found out that my lower forward control arm ball joints were bad. So I've got these Beck and Arnleys that are going to go on. They shouldn't be too difficult to put on. I got both driver and passenger side, just to showing y'all that this can be done with just basic tools. No specialty stuff aside from this style of tie rod puller, because the knuckle under the car has the ball joint next to it, so you can't use the regular. You can't use these regular tie rod pullers that look like this. They won't fit on there, so you have to use a single side one, so you can get on the one side bulge on the knuckle and then push this out. One trick when installing these, and this is also included in on the instructions, installation tip: lightly tighten the bolts during installation. The final tightening should be done to the specified torque values when the tires are on the ground with the vehicle's weight loading on the suspension. Why is this important? If you tighten the bolts while the wheels are raised off the ground without the vehicle weight applied, the strain on the bushings could cause premature control arm bushing failure. So this is the only bolt that I need to access, this bushing bolt, and then the bottom right here, I need to take that out. I'm gonna try to do this without removing my tie rod and the tie rod end here. We'll see if I can manage to work around it, but for right now I'm going to remove these. I believe these are 10mm bolts, but I'm going to remove these wheel speed sensor cable harnesses supports, so that I can unbolt this, pull that bolt out, and remove this whole lower control arm assembly. I'm going to put a new one in, loosely tighten them down, and then move to the other side. Anyway, I'll check back with you in a minute. You're going to have to take your engine cover off to access. You're going to take that dust cover off the bottom to access the this bolt. Anyway, I'll check back in with you. All right, got the right passenger side off. These are the two arms, and yeah, this one's super loose. This one's hard to move, but these are Beck and Arnley. They look great, identical. I don't see any differences. I'm gonna get this bolted back on. One tip: that tool does not fit around. It didn't fit around on this side, so I flipped the castle nut over like this, and then I hammered it, but I bent the tab on the castle nut, so I ended up having to get a hacksaw and cut this just to get this off. So anyway, just a tip: if you're going to turn a castle nut over, be sure you turn it all the way flush with the if you're going to hit it, make sure that the end of this is flush with the bottom of the castle nut. Anyway, let me get this put on and go over to the driver's side. That's what it looks like. Not too big of a deal getting it out. I'm gonna get this one popped in. You can see my new ball joint there, the new lower ball joint. Tie rods are new, inner tie rods are new, sway bar and link. I really wish I could get Zerk fitties on all of my suspension linkage, but unfortunately that's not the case with it. So this will pretty much be all new control arms and everything, steering and ball joints. With the exception of these, these were supposedly done not too long ago, but they're aftermarket, and I don't think they installed them properly, so I'll probably end up having to do those again too in the future at some point. But nonetheless, let me get this done and get over to the other side while I still have some daylight left. So I ran into a thing on the driver's side that I thought I would share. Pretty significant. This is the air suspension model. You are going to have to remove, let's see, is this a 10 millimeter? You're going to have to remove this wiring harness that's got this little cluster of right here, because this bolt will not come all the way out. It's not, there's not enough room. So you're going to have to remove this. You're going to have to remove this and move that wiring harness out of the way a little bit so that you can pull this bushing bolt all the way out. Anyway, I thought I'd share that. So let me get this off and get this replaced. Otherwise, this is a pretty simple job. Here we go. I took this 10 millimeter bolt off so that I can get some room right here with this harness out of the way. Just be sure you connect that back later. This harness right here. So now I should be able to get in here and have that bolt removed all the way. But you're going to have to do that or you're not going to have enough room to remove this bolt. Once you do that, man, it's just a matter of probably have to get a pry bar or something or a hammer and knock this out because it's pretty tight in there. I've already got this disconnected. This was the bad one. So let me get this removed, get the new one in, put everything back together, and then I'll be back when I torque these down. So I got everything together, got them installed, put everything back together, and I've not torqued them down. I need to torque this lower castle nut, and I need to torque the main bushing bolt on both sides, but you have to do that under preloaded suspension. So what I'm going to do now, I put my ramps here. I'm going to lift the car up so I can get these ramps all the way under the wheels, get these jack stands out from under it, lower the car down onto the ramps. Then I'm going to crawl back up under here and torque these bushing bolts and the castle nut, and then put my cotter pins in, and I should be done. Just put this engine cover back on. All in all, I'd say this was a pretty simple job. You know, a lot of it's just prep work. These look pretty shot to shit, the old ones. This one on the driver's side was really worn. It's making a clunky sound. You can see how, let me see here, show you how worn this is. I don't know if you can see, but look at this crack for reference right here. Let me do this. There you go. I'll put this other socket here just for reference, and look. It's going in and out like this, which means there's play inside the ball and socket. That's what was making my dong rattle noise whenever I would hit a bump. These bushings don't look too bad. I mean, they've survived. But anyway, yeah, let me get this finished up, take her for a ride, see if I have any rattle or if I've gotten rid of it. Okay. That's it, folks. I got, let's see, 107 foot-pounds. I did 107 foot-pounds on the here, which is the same torque spec for the lower ball joint. So now I've got new lower ball joints. I've got a new control arm, lower forward control arm to here. I've got new tie rod ends, new inner tie rods, new sway bar end links here on both sides. Everything seemed super tight, and did it all myself using mostly basic tools. I used a few tools that were specialty tools that I just rented for free from AutoZone. And we got these from Rock Auto. They were 90 bucks per side. So all in all, these cost me 200 bucks. Sway bar end links, I think, were 30 bucks for a pair. Lower ball joints were 70 bucks. Inner and outer tie rods was 100 bucks. So I don't know, do the math, 200, 300, probably 450 to do pretty much correct the suspension issue and loose steering that I was having. All do it yourself. Let me go ahead and drop this thing down. I got to put that engine cover back on, and then I have to take her to get an alignment. That's probably going to be tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for watching, y'all. This is the first time I've ever done any suspension work. I'm not a rookie at doing any kind of mechanic work, but I've never done any suspension work. It's not hard, as long as you got the right tools. But these help a lot if you're doing suspension work. So does a breaker bar. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, y'all. Well, got it done. Went for a test drive. Let's see if I can get, see if we got any knocking noise. Hold on. God, I swear I'm gonna turn that off. It's an ODB2. Here we go. Over this rough spot up here. That was it, boys. No thunking. No thunk, no rattle. So it was my front lower control arm. Boy, I tell you what, man, this is front end feels good now, especially the steering. Not like it was uncomfortable to begin with, but it was very loose, very easy input. It wasn't tight and no clunking, no rattling, just smooth butter LS460 sexual passionate riding. Thanks for watching, dog. With my greasy hands.